I went from 50 to 150 words per minute in 60 days. I could not believe I could type this fast, and let me share with you how exactly I did this. Before all of this, I could type somewhat fast, but only with like 6 or 7 fingers, and I was making a lot of mistakes. So I decided to learn touch typing, and it wasn't easy. My goal was to type with minimum errors, fast, and most importantly, be consistent. I used the website typing.com to learn the layout of touch typing and practice it. I never really used my pinky fingers for anything other than Shift, Control, or Enter, and now there are 4 letters I have to type with them. It got frustrating because readjusting was hard and my muscle memory was overtaken a lot of times. After I completed my first training, I did a 60-second test on monkeytype.com, and the result was discouraging to say the least. 55 words per minute. Knowing I was able to type about 120 before, this now became quite the challenge, because I was in too deep already. I set my goal to reach 150 words per minute, however long it would take me. My next move for me was skibr.com, a website that tracks your typing and finds out which letters you're struggling with. It makes you rewrite words with them until it decides that you have practiced enough and that you're confident to type them. For me, this was the letter Q, which you should type with, you guessed it, your pinky finger. I struggled a little bit, but eventually got through this obstacle as well. What helped me was integrating touch typing into my daily life. So, whenever I wanted to turn up to an XQC stream, I made myself manually type out his Twitch address. I completed all the letters on KeyBR, and it was time for my return to monkey type. I practiced for at least 10 to 20 minutes every day and tracked my results to see how and if I improved. After a few days, here are some things that I learned that helped me. Stretching my fingers, I don't know if that's placebo, but helps either way, right? Reading the text forward, so you're actually able to catch up to your speed. Focusing more on not making a mistake instead of typing fast. As I said before, integrating touch typing into my daily life, which also meant messaging my friends. And lastly, utilizing some useful keyboard shortcuts. Ctrl backspace deletes a whole word. Home and End gets you to the beginning and the end of a line. Windows D shows desktop. Windows E opens up File Explorer. Ctrl Shift N creates a new folder. Tab navigates between inputs, Shift and Tab gets you back. This also goes with Excel, and you can also use Enter and Shift and Enter. Oh, and also, but most of you probably know this, you shouldn't look at the keyboard while typing. Days went by and I got to see my statistics. Some days I went up by 10 words per minute, some days I went down by 5. But looking at my trackings from a further distance, I was improving. I mostly practiced on the 15-second test, and sometimes I turned up the difficulty to master level, which makes you fail if you make a single mistake. However, I have not reached my goal yet. The stats you see are not on the 60-second test that I took in the beginning. Logically, these results are better because there's less room for error. But after about 60 days since I started this challenge, it was time for me to take the 1-minute test again, to see if I would reach my goal of hitting 150 words per minute. The 1-minute test was so much harder for me because about halfway through I had to remind myself that I needed to focus. 142 words per minute. I decided to try again. You know, actually focusing entirely on one thing for a full 60 seconds is not an easy task in my opinion, especially if you're trying to type fast with all 10 fingers. 143. Close, but not enough. I tried a few more times, but the more times I tried, the more mistakes I made, and I felt like I couldn't do it. But something in me told me that I can in fact do it, that it's possible. I knew I had the raw pace because I could get the 150 within 15 seconds. So I decided to take a break and return the following day. When I woke up in the morning, I felt really motivated, so after a quick warm-up, I decided to take the 1-minute test again, and this happened. I did it! 154! If there's anything I learned from this, it's that sticking to something and doing it consistently over time will get you results. Just as it did for me. Now I type with all 10 fingers every day, it helped me write this script fast, and it also helps me in video games. I hope this motivated at least someone. If you decide to try this, please don't compare yourself to others. Only compare yourself to your past self, because everyone has their own pace of learning and figuring things out. However, this doesn't change the fact that you can do it. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. It's free and you can change your mind anytime. Bye!